When a person shifts from being essential to being erased, it's rarely because their importance faded. More often, it's because they hold information that makes others uncomfortable. Every modern legend has a turning point where the future snaps into place. For Meghan Markle, that pivot arrived in 2016. The polished version claims Prince Harry wanted someone beyond his usual world. And when the moment arrived, he didn't rely on relatives or palace advisors. He reached out to Marcus Anderson. The meeting was no coincidence. It wasn't staged at a public gathering or sparked by chance. It unfolded behind closed doors inside Soho House, a space Marcus effectively ruled. He wasn't merely nearby. He orchestrated the introduction, guided the first exchanges, and stayed quietly embedded as the bond slowly formed. That detail matters because when someone connects two figures at that level, they do more than make an introduction. They control the narrative, they set the tone, they curate perception. Which means the real mystery isn't simply who connected Harry and Meghan. The deeper question is which version of Meghan was presented and which chapters of her history never made it into the room. Jump ahead to December 2025. Meghan unveils a lifestyle brand rooted in her truth, her evolution, her principles, her raw authenticity. This is the moment when loyal voices from her history should step forward. This is when legitimacy is strengthened. Yet Marcus Anderson is nowhere to be seen. No interviews, no appearances, no recognition. That absence isn't random. Insiders suggest he won't be involved in upcoming projects either. And the timing is impossible to dismiss. His vanishing doesn't occur during quieter chapters. It happens precisely when Meghan's story is being marketed at its highest worth. Silence at that level isn't neutral. It's intentional. Either Marcus declined to support a narrative he no longer believed in, or his presence threatened to open doors the brand couldn't risk unlocking. When a narrative relies on authenticity, the architects behind it are either spotlighted or erased. This is the moment everything shifts. Perspective. Years before Meghan ever crossed paths with Harry, long before the public storyline begins, a recorded claim surfaces that completely reshapes the timeline. In 2001, a photograph emerges from a yacht off Phuket, Thailand. In the frame stands a man believed to be Marcus Anderson. Beside him is Prince Andrew. The date is crucial. 2001 is 15 years before Meghan is officially said to have met anyone from the royal circle. The image doesn't confirm relationships. It doesn't level accusations, but it does lock in something undeniable. Marcus Anderson had access to senior royals far earlier than the public was ever led to believe, and that introduces a question that refuses to disappear. If Marcus was already circulating within elite, royal-adjacent worlds in the early 2000s, then the environment Meghan Markle later stepped into may not have been unfamiliar at all. And once that possibility exists, the official timeline can no longer stand untouched. Before international attention, before royal headlines, Meghan Markle was an actress grinding for recognition. Her mid-2000s resume reflects small roles and modest earnings. Yet, during that same window, she's seen in spaces that contradict that financial picture. Private yachts, exclusive European retreats, rarefied social scenes typically reserved for the ultra-wealthy. This chapter isn't about judgment. It's about contrast. Those worlds don't unlock themselves. That level of access requires sponsorship, a gateway, someone already trusted within the circle. And by that stage, Marcus Anderson was deeply planted in elite networking ecosystems where introductions weren't spontaneous. They were intentional. So the real question isn't whether Meghan had ambition, it's who helped guide her through doors that were otherwise sealed. Now place the pieces together. Marcus Anderson is verifiably present in elite circles by 2001. Meghan begins appearing in similar environments years afterward. In 2016, Marcus formally introduces her to Prince Harry. Individually, these are facts. Together, they form a pattern that can't be dismissed. The public narrative insists Meghan's connection to royalty begins with Harry, but the timeline suggests her proximity to power began much earlier, with the same man serving as the constant link throughout. No speculation is required here. No claims are being made. This is simply what emerges when timelines are aligned instead of isolated. Viewed as a whole, the ascent no longer feels sudden. It feels engineered. Marcus Anderson built his career on discretion. That silence was his currency. It shielded influential figures. It kept corridors open. But silence only survives when loyalty flows both ways. Anderson's history remains strikingly opaque, his swift descent, his early access, his prolonged closeness to people far more powerful than his public resume implies. These aren't conclusions. They're unresolved questions. And now, the person once closest to Meghan's private evolution has been erased from her public storyline entirely. That creates tension. Because when someone who knows the complete version of events is removed, the truth doesn't vanish. It lingers. And the longer it lingers, the heavier it grows. Marcus Anderson has never told his story. He arranged connections. He protected privacy. He remained behind the curtain while others moved into the light. That restraint shaped his career and safeguarded the people he assisted. But now the narrative being sold to the world no longer includes him. And that's the instant everything shifts. Because when the architect of access is written out, the structure begins to tremble. Silence stops being loyalty and starts becoming weight. And the most dangerous stage of any carefully curated narrative is the moment when the person who knows the truth realizes there's nothing left to protect. Whether Marcus Anderson ever speaks publicly remains unknown, but his absence is no longer quiet, his silence is no longer invisible. And the questions surrounding how Meghan Markle truly rose from actress to duchess aren't fading. They're waiting. Waiting for the one person who witnessed it all to decide that his version of events finally counts. People don't usually erase the most critical witness to their life story, especially when they're asking the world to believe that story is authentic, and when the person who knows the most abruptly disappears, the silence itself becomes the riddle. Marcus never chased fame. He avoided attention. His influence came from something far more potent: access. He worked at Soho House, a private members club designed to unite powerful figures away from public view. Actors, billionaires, royalty, industry titans, all inside spaces meant to remain unseen. Marcus quietly climbed that hierarchy from an entry-level role to global membership director. He became someone who didn't just enter rooms like that, he controlled who crossed the threshold. That position demands trust, restraint, silence. When the right people met at the right moment,